Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Save the Good Girl podcast. I am your host, Erica. If you don't know me, welcome, boo. I am happy to have you listening, okay? Welcome to the only shot that you need. Why did I just say that? Because you're listening to the shot of Erica, and this is where it's kind of like your shot of green juice, your shot of espresso, your shot of tequila or vodka or bourbon, whatever you like to drink. The whole point is the shot gets you where you need to be a little quicker. So these episodes are shorter, and on Fridays I do my longer episodes, and this is where we really get to really talk, you know what I mean? Just really be. But if you have a quick break, you drop the kids off, you're home, you're chilling, you're at work, you're relaxing, you're on vacation, it's a cute 20 minutes, a hot 20, something to get you right to where you need to be, mentally. So, as you know, or if you don't know, I have started the grief series, and the grief series are in 4 parts. I released part 1 last week, and this week we are going to focus on part 2, which will be released on Friday. So today I really wanted to talk about grief and misplaced emotions, not knowing where your emotions are sometimes. And what I mean by that is sometimes I could really have a good day. Like nothing triggering happened. I didn't see anything. Like I feel good. I did what I had to do. I'm doing my task. I'm talking to people. I'm vocal. I'm doing things and I feel fine. And then out of nowhere, I'm just instantly sad. And I think that when you suffer a loss, you are at a place where you're trying to, well, at least for me, let me just say for me, I'm trying to come at a place right now where I really want to live my life, right? I know that this is exactly what my father would want. He would want me to live my life, and I want to live my life. But I'm still very sad because I had such a close relationship with him. And I think that when you're going through a loss, especially when a loss of a person, and that person was your friend, that person was someone you confided in and talked to and get advice from, it's so hard. It's so hard when you do have a happy moment or anything that this person's not there. So what I'm experiencing right now is I'm going through great things, me launching the podcast. I also did a great YouTube interview that you guys definitely need to check out. I'm going to link it in the description, but you can visually see me talk about this. I did a YouTube interview. A lot of other opportunities are coming along. Just me fighting to believe in myself and my faith and really pushing myself and putting myself out there because I was hidden for so long. And now I'm like, okay, let me try to get out. So all these amazing things are happening. And I feel good in the moment. I process the moment and I feel great. But then it's like, I can't go back and share that with him. You know what I mean? I can't share that with him. So I'm at a place where I can't really hold on to joy. It's hard for me to hold on to it because as I'm experiencing it and feeling it and I'm happy and I'm grateful and I'm excited, it's like I can't share that with my dad. I can't share that. I can't talk, so it's difficult. And sometimes when I have these emotions, even though I do have a wonderful support system, it's hard to talk about my dad with people because, he was important to a lot of people. So when you're going through a loss where this person was significant in not only your life, but other people's lives, it's difficult. It makes them emotional too. And I'm very sensitive to that, so it's kind of hard to hold my emotions in place. It's hard for me to sometimes even articulate how I feel. I wake up some days and I feel good. I feel like I have a nice planned day and something will trigger me. I'll think about something or a memory. You know how I have an iPhone, and iPhones, they have the pictures that pop up. Sometimes I will see that and I'm like, man, I get really sad. And I got to a place where I'm like, okay, I allowed myself to be where I needed to be. I was reclusive. I was isolated at one point. I was suffering with depression. I was just really down and trying to understand what life would be like, going through this loss. And now I'm at a place where I want to live. I want to live because I'm seeing how beautiful life is. I see and feel God's love through people. Like the way that people have been supportive and they care and the check-ins and just being around my girls, being around my family, being around people has really made me feel God's love, and it's good, and I have a good time and I'm laughing again. And there was a time where I didn't think I was going to laugh. I was watching a video recently with Lauren London, as some of you may have not known or know, but she recently lost her fiance, Nipsey Hussle, a few years ago. And she said, like, I think the interviewer asked her, "Are you proud of yourself?" And she said, "Yes, because there was a time where I didn't shower. There was a time where I didn't think I was ever going to laugh again." And I connected with that thought so much because I felt the same way. I felt the exact same way. Like, I don't think I'm ever going to smile again. I didn't care about taking care of myself. I was just so broken and down, and just it was just a shock that continued to happen. You can be shocked about something and then eventually you get used to it. For me, going through this loss, it's like I was shocked every day, and I'm still shocked today. I'm still shocked. Like, I can't believe this happened. I can't believe. So imagine reliving that over and over and over again. It's very difficult. So I'm at a place where I had to fight. Like, every day is a fight. Every single day is a fight, because I have to make a decision to not let my emotions get the best of me so that I can be productive and that I can move forward, right? And move forward in my life. Because I was also kind of going through this phase where I'm like, am I wasting time? Did I take too long to grieve? I should have done this or that. And I'm like, it is what it is. The time is gone. I can't get it back. And I needed that time for me to process. I needed that time for me to just put certain things into perspective. And just because you suffered a loss, that does not mean life stops. Life continues to happen. And people are still living lives and they still have things to do. Like, it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. And initially, while I was going through my grief, I'm like, I didn't care about it because I was depressed. So I didn't care what was going on outside. But once I started to come out of it, I'm like, yeah, life is really happening. And I have to really work on believing that I can still get the life that I've always dreamed of. I can still do all the things that I'm scared of. I can still put myself out there. I can still get my message out there. I was very afraid. As I've shared with you guys, I did not want to come out with the podcast. I did not want to start with the grief series because I was so concerned about other people, and it's too heavy, and it's nice outside here in New York. It's summertime, and I don't want to talk about this. It's too much. But again, it was just kind of like, no, people need to hear this. They need to hear it. And that's what I'm doing. So having this misplaced emotion, what I realized is that there has to be an emotional escape plan. There has to be an emotional escape plan. I literally could be depressed in 5 minutes, maybe 2 minutes, maybe 30 seconds if I really want to. It doesn't really take much effort for me, like, to get sad. You know what I mean? It's actually more effort to get out of the sadness, but getting sad takes 2 seconds. You know how they say, like, gaining weight takes like no time, but then losing weight takes like forever. So it's like it takes no time for me to be sad. And I had to create an emotional escape plan. Like, I literally woke up yesterday and I'm like, how do I feel? Like, somebody called me and she said, "How are you?" And I'm like, do you want the long answer, or do you want, like, "I'm good, I'm okay"? But I had to really think about, how do I feel? Because I felt happy, but then I also felt sad. I also felt confused. I also felt annoyed. So I'm just trying to catch up with my own emotions. And I also know how easy it can be to just kind of like be so overwhelmed that you literally don't want to do anything. And I didn't want to do that, because life is beautiful. And if you have the opportunity to be here and to live, it's important to take advantage of it. Now, granted, if I'm really, really, really emotionally heavy, I will listen to my body, and I will take whatever time I need so that I can get back to being 100%, or at least 80, or at least 70%, at least 70%. So I allow myself to be where I need to be, but I also know that in order for me to live my life the way that I want to, I have to hold myself accountable. No one is going to do the healing for me. Yes, you're listening to the podcast and you're going through your loss, I'm going through a loss, or however, whatever feelings we're going through. But ultimately, no one is going to heal for me. Nobody can do that but me. No one can do it but me. So I'm at this place where I have to participate in my healing. I have to actually do things. Initially, when the grief first happened, I didn't do anything. I just felt very like, I'm here, I'm trying, whatever. At least I felt like I didn't do anything. I know I was doing a lot, to be honest, but I felt like I wasn't doing anything. And now I'm like, you know what? I got to participate. I got to like really play the game. I think before I was just trying to understand what was happening. I was trying to understand the plays and what I had to do. Now it's like, okay, Erica, you have your uniform on. You know how to play the game. You know the rules. Get in the ring. Let's go. Let's go. You're ready. Let's go. Let's go. And that's what it feels like. And if I don't take reign of that, I'm just going to continue to be in the cycle. And I didn't want to do it. So what I'll say is, it's hard. It's hard to live life without someone that you're so used to connecting with and talking with and sharing stories with, and they were able to listen to you on a different level. My father would know when something was wrong with me, and he really dedicated time to me. He really dedicated attention when I was speaking. I never had to fight for that attention, or, oh my God, the TV's on, or he's on his phone, or, like, if we're talking, we're talking, you know what I mean? And so I miss that. I miss that very, very much. And I'm at this place where there's a lot of changes that I want in my life. There's a lot of things that I want to do. A lot of people around me are doing a lot of phenomenal things, and I'm so happy for them. And I'm cheerleading them on, and I'm like, yes, you could do it, blah, blah, blah. But like, what about me? What do I want to do? What am I going to do? So I'm at this place where it's time for me to really participate and be a part of the healing journey at a higher level. Because if I want to live the life that I want to live, this is what I need to do. Grief is not something you can just say, oh, well, it's been a couple of years and I'm good now. I'm fine. Like, I have to live with this for the rest of my life, right? And it's something that I have to move with. And I'm still getting the help. I'm still getting support to help me during this journey. I'm still talking to people. I'm utilizing every resource that I possibly can still. I have my grief group that I meet with every Monday. Hey, girls. I meet with them every Monday. I still go to therapy and I talk to her whenever I have these emotions. I still talk to my grief counselor. I talk to my friends, and I'll tell them, like, listen, can we go get a coffee? I just need to talk. So I will say that, utilizing the resources is valuable because it really helps you get where you need to be, and you don't have to do it alone. In addition to that, sometimes if I really can't talk in that moment, I also will journal or go to the park and look at the water and just try to understand, like, where am I? Because you know how difficult it is to make a decision when you're just emotionally all over the place. Like, how do you make a decision? How are you organized, getting out of bed? And like, because of where I was, I know my symptoms now. Like, not too long ago, I wanted to get up out of bed, take a shower, get my day started. And I realized I was in bed for 2 hours. And I'm like, ooh, the heaviness is coming in. So I could have stayed in bed the whole day, or I could have gotten up and, tried to take a shower and get myself in order. Eventually, I did get up and take a shower to get myself in order. But I'm like, oh, the emotions are starting to creep in. And I'm like, I don't want that to bring me down. So with suffering a loss and going through grief, I will say that it is a very, very, very tricky and surprising emotion every single time. It's not something where I'm like, oh yeah, this is familiar and I'm good. No, it's like I'm always shocked. I had to do a presentation, and I recently talked about this on the first episode, but I had to do a presentation, and to give a speech. Like I wrote a poem for the priest. He celebrated, over 30 years in the parish, and I wrote a poem, and I looked in the audience, and Daddy wasn't there. So that was hard. So that's what I mean by misplaced emotions and like living with it, because even though I'm sad, even though it was triggering, even though I still continue to push myself, and I continue to push and push over the boundaries that I have within myself so that I can really excel. And I told myself, Erica, you're not saying no to any opportunities this year. You're going to be consistent. I don't care if it's one person listening. Don't get discouraged, because it's so easy to get discouraged, right? I'm very sensitive about my work. I'm very sensitive about what I do. I'm very intentional about what I do. I want this to go to everybody that needs it. I really want this to be like a healing companion. I want this to help somebody. So I get very sensitive and very emotional, and I doubt myself all the time, and I'm doubting myself right now. You know what I mean? But I'm like, I told myself when I did the podcast originally, I don't care if it's one person listening, somebody's hearing it. Somebody's listening. And the reality is, as I tell you guys all the time, I love to hear your feedback. But the truth is, I don't get the feedback all the time. Or when I get it, it'll be so random. Like, oh, I listen to your podcast every day. And I'm like, what? You do? So I never know who's listening. I have no idea. I do have analytics. I get to see like, oh, they're listening in India or in Germany or the United States. And this is the age group. But in terms of like who specifically listens, I have no idea. So, I really do take this very seriously. I want to be consistent. I want to live life. I want to enjoy the beauty of life. And I want to live the life that I know that I always could live. I know that going through grief definitely took a pause for me. But I know that my Father would want me to live the life that I want to live too, because he would be happy. He'll be happy to see me happy. So what I'm trying to do is retrieve my joy. I'm trying to retrieve it. It never left me, right? But I'm just trying to consistently stay with that, consistently hold on to the joy, and understanding that even when I'm happy, I'm going to have that moment of missing my dad. But in order for me to really heal and move forward, I need to be able to not only have the joy, feel it, and still continue to push forward. And my grief counselor told me that's how you know you're really moving forward, is when you're able to feel it and not let it break you down and stop you, but you're able to feel it and still move at a pace that's good for you, but you're still moving. That's what we need to do. We still have to move at our pace, at our time, whenever you're ready, whenever that is for you, but just taking that time to move. So I just want to retrieve it. I just want to share that with you guys. I really hope you enjoyed this cute nugget. I love to give these nuggets. I love to talk to you guys. And as always, please share your feedback. Subscribe. Are you subscribed to SaveTheGoodGirl.com? If not, it's okay. I still love you and we're still friends. But at the end of the day, what are you waiting for? And then, are you following Save the Good Girl on Instagram? My stories are great. I'm just saying. So I've been told. The majority says it's great. So yes, check me out on SaveTheGoodGirl.com. Check me out on social media. I also have Pinterest. I don't get Pinterest no love. If you have Pinterest or Facebook, I am on Pinterest. I am on Facebook. I'm going to get on TikTok. I'm so slow to TikTok, but that's coming soon too. But I hope you guys have a phenomenal week. Please come back on Friday for part 2 of the grief series. I'm really excited about this particular episode because I think it would resonate with a lot of people. I really do. And not just about just loss. It's just that this is an emotion that we all share, what I'm discussing on Friday. So definitely come back and check that out. But I hope you have a wonderful week, and we're going to talk on Friday. We got some things to discuss. And check out SaveTheGoodGirl.com. Wait, check out why did I say it like that? All right, bye.